Hey guys, it's Barrett with the Gimpy Camper. So I have another RV repair video for you here. I actually made another one covering the same subject, but before I even put it out, I figured that I had bad issues there, so I never even put this video out because I've already changed my system again. And so this system is how to patch a hole or a cut really in an RV underbelly. So when I did my generator install, I did have to get into the underbelly. I had to make a couple of different cut marks there and make a panel where it opened up so I could see my tanks. Now the problem with that is you have to go back and fix it. I did initially use some Gorilla Tape for that. I will say that Gorilla Tape held up for over a year. It was starting to curl up around the edges, but all in all, it did hold this rectangular area in just fine. But I had read that it's not the best thing to use. And so I was doing some perusing on Amazon. I found something called Underbelly tape. When you get the Underbelly tape, this is what I made the video of before. I guess I'll link it up above here and in the description, but I'm not making it public because I fixed it that way. And with that Underbelly tape, it seems like if you're just holding the tape, it doesn't seem very strong. But if you clean off the underbelly with alcohol, get it real clean, you can tell it adheres to that underbelly way better than the Gorilla Tape seemed to. And so I was happy with it. I thought it was going to work out fine. And then I drove from Tennessee to Michigan. And by the time I got to Michigan, it was all flapping in the wind. Most of it fell off and it just wasn't being useful at all. So I will say, I don't know where I stand on Gorilla Tape versus Underbelly tape because it seemed to be stronger, but it did come off faster. And so I'm not sure. I guess if I had an emergency, I'd probably lean toward the Gorilla Tape. If you really want to check out the Underbelly tape, I'm going to leave an Amazon link in the description below. But I think that the way that we ended up doing it here is better. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through today. If you just have a little slit or something, I'd try the tape first. It'd probably be fine. But this was like two 18-inch cut marks. And that caused like a flap, and it had some warping that would move over time. And I think that that's why the tape wasn't holding up well. So I stopped in over at Shelburne RV and I asked them what they would recommend to fix this. Well, they came back and had a piece of, basically it was leftover underbelly, just a piece that was like 3 foot by 4 foot that was left over from another project. And they said, you know, the strongest thing to do is just to patch it with another piece. So they recommended cutting it down to size. So they recommended cutting it down to size in a strip, you know, 4 to 6 inches wide, just long enough for the whole cut. So then you just put that on there and you put screws in all the way down. Now you don't want to use long screws because there's things like your tanks up above that underbelly and you don't want to get into those. They did say that some people put that strip inside on top of the splice and others put it below. I ended up going below, so I have really too many screws in there probably because I used too wide of a strip. And so I had it a little bit more offset. And so I had some screws like rows of 3 where usually I would just use a row of 2. And so I learned something when I did this and I'm passing that along to you. Because I was afraid the front lip I left too long and I was afraid wind would get in there and try to pull it down. So after I put the screws in there, then I went back and I did just use a household silicone for this that was cheaper because it's not, you know, part of the RV. If it's on the RV walls and stuff, I use more of like the ChemLink clear that they recommend over at Shelburne. But this, I just used regular old silicone. And then I'm just gonna keep track of it and see how it's holding up. But I did seal up all the edges around there and I think it's gonna do just fine. And I'm gonna show you some pictures and stuff here. So we're just gonna use it this way and we're gonna keep an eye on it for the next few months and then I'll get back with you and tell you how it worked out. Any comments, questions, you got a better way of doing it, let me know down in the comments. Thanks guys, stick around, watch our next video.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.